Hi, I'm Tom Hall from the Archery GB National Squad, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take apart and clean your pressure button. Here I've used a spare button. I've set the centre shot and the button pressure to be exactly the same so that I can set it back to the same values afterwards. So now just break your button into as many separate bits as you can get it into using your Allen keys. It's important to make sure none of these bits go missing, so I've used a paper towel on top of an old rag. That will just help keep everything in place and keep it tidy once we start cleaning it later. So go crazy with this stuff now. Spray the WD-40 onto all the metal parts of your button, all the little nooks and crannies, give it a good soaking. If your button is rusty, this is where you'll start to see some of the liquid coming off, being all red and soaking into the towel. So one of these tiny bottle brushes works really well for this, but you just want to go and give everything a good scrubbing. You're trying to dislodge any of rust or other gunk that hasn't been washed out with the WD-40 to start with. It's going to take about 10 minutes to dry, so just leave it lying there for a bit, pick it up at some point, give it a little rub down with a paper towel and move it all around to make sure the WD-40 is completely evaporated. You don't want any left inside the button when you put it back together. Hopefully you've not lost any of your parts, so reassembly is just the reverse of disassembly, so putting the plunger back in before the spring and then just putting all the bits back together loosely. Don't worry about tightening them because we'll still need to adjust the tension and centre shot. So this is where you use your spare button that we set up at the start, checking the centre shot first, and while you're doing this be aware that a small turn of the centre shot has a really big effect, so don't do more than half a turn at a time and you should get to where you need within a few attempts. After that I've just put the rubber O-ring back in place and locked it down, and now I'll reset the spring tension to make sure that that's the same too. This is normally a little bit easier to get right. So there we have it, one clean button ready to use for the next outdoor season as soon as we get back out there. Until then, stay safe.